Thank you for watching this tutorial video, which will demonstrate how to enter a request for payment, otherwise known as an application for payment, into CMiC, the cloud-based construction management platform used by Pentalon Construction. If you are already familiar with the process and have entered a request for payment in CMiC in the past, please note after May 10th, 2020, the website has been updated and will look a little different. The process is essentially the same with a couple minor changes. We have found that the most seamless browser to use is Firefox. You can also use other browsers such as Google Chrome and Edge. However, we recommend that you use the Firefox browser. You will open your browser and type in the web address CMiCcloud.com. Here you will be able to sign in to enter your request for payment. The client ID will always be Pentalon, and then you will enter the user ID and password provided to you by the project administrator for your project. However, for this training video, I am going to use a test company. So after signing in, you will choose this blue field here, CMiC field. Once you've logged into the field module, you will see a project name listed here. If your company is on more than one project for Pentalon, this is where you will choose a different project if you need to change. You click on the project name and a list will populate here. Choose the project you wish to work on and it will take you to that project. You'll see that there are a few options under the project name: communication management, document management, budget and cost management, and site management. These are all good tools to use as subcontractors so you can get a better look inside the project. However, for this video, I am going to only be using this budget and cost management section. So click on this little arrow next to budget and cost management and select request for payment. This brings you to the request for payment page. Listed here will be any of the previous invoices that you have entered in the past. If you wish to view one of these invoices, click on the invoice number and it will take you to the request for payment itself. To get back to the list, click back to log. To add a new request for payment, click this blue Add RFP button. You will see that next to the vendor name, your company will automatically generate. Next to the contract, click on this magnifying glass and a pop-up box will appear. Choose the contract that you are going to be billing for. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to load, but make sure that the schedule of values generates before you try to enter the invoice number. For the invoice number, I am going to use the number 2 because this is going to be the second request for payment for this subcontract. The invoice date and due date do not need to be changed. On the description, if you choose the invoice number that you are going to be entering or an internal invoice number for your records, just make sure on the description for the accounting department, type RFP and then the corresponding number of whatever you wrote up here for the invoice number. In this schedule of values field, you will see columns that go along the top, and to access all of them, you will need to scroll. We have the task code, task name, job, the phase code. The amount of each line item is listed here. This is the amount that is left on each line item in this remaining amount to be invoiced column. And then we have this fillable column here: current amount, the amount completed, the retention or retainage amount, which is automatically populated, and the retainage amount in this column here. You will see that as you enter the amount for each line item, the amount completed and the retention is automatically calculated, and we have a summary of what you were billing for up in this field. So for this request for payment, I will be billing $2,500 for the sub-rough plumbing, $1,000 for the rough plumbing, $500 for fixtures, and $1,200 for site utilities. Scrolling over, up in this field in the top, you can see that we have a gross amount of $5,200. Retention at 5% comes to $260. That gives us the net amount at $4,940. This is the amount that your payment will be and what you will list on your lien waiver. Once you have all of your line items filled in correctly for the amount that you are billing, go ahead and press Save. The next part of the process is adding your filled out sworn statement and lien waiver to your request for payment. If you do not already have a PDF of the sworn statement and lien waiver, you can get that from the project administrator. Every request for payment must have a filled out and signed lien waiver and sworn statement. This is what the lien waiver and sworn statement will look like. On the Utah conditional waiver and release upon payment, make sure that the property name and location or the address is correct. The undersigner's customer will always be Pentalon Construction. And on the payment application line, you enter the number of payment application you are submitting. On the payment amount line, you will enter the net amount. If we go back to CMiC, you'll see that this invoice amount is the net amount, $4,940. So I have that listed here. On the payment period line, you will enter the last day of the month that you are billing for. In this case, I have entered May 31st, 2020. Make sure you date, add the company name, phone number of your company, sign, and enter your company title here. The sworn statement is where you will list any suppliers or sub-tier contractors that will need to be paid. Enter your name on the first line, along with your business name here. This is where you will enter the name of the county in which your project is located, and here is where you will make sure that your project name is correct. If you do not have any suppliers or sub-tier contractors, simply write none. If you do have a supplier or a sub-tier contractor that will be paid, you will start by entering the company name here, the best contact with that company, the phone number, email, types of materials and services furnished in this column, and also the amount that you will be paying them. If you do not know the amount at the time that you are filling out the sworn statement, you can just leave that blank. Type in the company name, date, your signature, your printed name, and your phone number. Once you have correctly filled out your lien waiver and sworn statement, we will now attach it to the request for payment. Back on this request for payment page, click on the attachments tab. As you can see, there's no check mark here. Once you attach something to the request for payment, a check mark will appear indicating to you and to Pentalon that there are attachments associated with this request for payment. Click Upload Multiple, and this box will auto-populate here. You have two options to upload a file. You can choose Browse and choose from your desktop whichever file you want to upload. Once it fills in green, go ahead and click Upload. You can also choose to drag and drop your file into this box here. Go ahead and click Upload and then Proceed. As you can see, now we have this lien waiver attached here and the check mark has appeared. At any time, you can click on this lien waiver and it will actually pull up a preview of the attachment. After you've attached your lien waiver and sworn statement, go back to the RFP detail. Once you have your schedule of values correctly filled out for what you are billing, and you have your lien waiver and sworn statement attached, you will come up to this button here and click Submit. Once you click Submit, the project administrator assigned to your project will be notified. They can then process your request for payment. Please contact the project administrator if you have any questions or concerns. And thanks again for watching this video.